Do you suspect that your cat is less than pleased with you, but you're just unsure? Is your cat's personality a bit unusual right now, but are you suspecting that it could be something else and unrelated to you? While time itself along the ownership journey can help you to answer this question within just a few minutes, perhaps even a few moments, if you are a new owner, the ability to read your cat in this way can be quite difficult. And that leads me to today's topic. In this material, I'll talk about a few things to look for, subtle things in some cases, that can let you know that your cat is upset and perhaps angry with you. Knowing what to look for is very important, because it can determine how you behave and allow you to quell the situation before it gets worse, and depending on the context, before you get scratched. A big part of turning your pet's frown upside down is body language, their body language. The sooner that you're able to read those cues, the better for all involved. Interesting topic and hopefully a helpful one, especially for first-time cat owners. I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Unlike, I would say, most humans, cats can be very coy when it comes to their expression of emotion. And unless it's just blatantly obvious that your cat could be about to boil over with anger, you could actually miss those cues. The way your cat is acting, those negative emotions, could be right there, just below the surface, and not so outwardly apparent. Let's start things off with distance. Your pet is avoiding you, and keeping an eye on you from afar. Passing up those playtime and cuddle sessions while making it a point to phase you out. Similar to grooming and how that's all but constant with felines, many cats in the home environment are all about constantly wanting to be near their owners. However, distance can crop up if the cat is rather upset. Your pet seems happy and healthy otherwise, yet is walking on eggshells around you. That could be a rather subtle sign that you are on their bad side, at least for the time. Now let's talk about your pet's eyes and their expression. I mentioned earlier about looking at you from afar. If your cat is staring at you yet seemingly refusing to blink, this is an indicator that your pet is unsure and there's a disconnect in that trust department. Loving felines, cats that live in a loving home environment, that guard is very much down. Tummy exposed, blinking of the eyes, all of the things that defensive felines rarely do. The family cat is giving you a bit of the stink eye. There's potentially something going on that has made them very upset. The next subtle sign of displeasure that I'll speak about involves some degree of hiding, the refusal to engage. Similar to outright avoidance, some cats, instead of being physically distant and just giving you a stare, they just leave altogether. They avoid you to the point where they're not even in the same room. You're in the living room watching television and they're resting in a hallway, clearly out of main sight, main view. Cats in hiding will give their owners the cold shoulder. Instead of being your shadow as you walk around, hanging on your every move, they just couldn't care less. Instead of avoiding you, moving to places where you aren't, they're just nowhere to be found within that usual high-traffic zone in your home. And a petting session? Forget about it. It's all about rejection in this example. And if your cat is doing this and once again appears to be healthy and following the normal daily routine in terms of food and water, there's some deep emotion in place here, and it could be right there squarely directed at you. With respect to the physical, the look of your cat's body, pay attention to those ears and that tail. Are the ears a bit flat and pinned back, not relaxed? A lot of tension, overall tension in the ears and in the body. This is often a sign of displeasure. And that tail, if it's flicking in a deliberate fashion rather than free-flowing and easy, something is likely wrong. The tail is moving, but it appears stiff and rigid. This means that your cat is on edge and very uncomfortable. Another sign that your cat could be mad at you, perhaps a less than subtle sign, involves poor bathroom behavior. Not using that litter box, but rather going anywhere they please. Acts like this will certainly get your attention, and your cat very much knows it. Something is wrong, and your pet could be very anxious and stressed. Poor bathroom behavior could be the response to changes within the home that your cat just does not approve of or doesn't understand. Grooming. Well, cats, they do it all the time, but aggressive grooming or angry grooming should never be part of the daily routine. Your cat is pulling out large chunks of fur almost like an angry protest. Something is certainly wrong, especially if other concerns that I've mentioned here today have already become known. Mad grooming. Your pet could be taking out their frustrations, all those frustrations with you during those grooming sessions, that grooming process. And finally, while hissing is certainly not subtle, this random type of physical aggression, that could be a sign of displeasure, where it's more than a case of the zoomies, but rather an act of deliberate intent, sneaking up on you, if you will, swatting at you, biting at you just out of the blue, actions that are way out of character for your pet. If this happens, get away from your cat, allow them to calm down. Never respond to these actions with actions of your own. That's a game that you just do not want to play. As soon as your cat acts out in this physical way directed at you, call a timeout immediately. Leave the room if needed. Give your cat time to chill and give yourself time to get your composure. In the big picture, cats aren't sitting around making notes of their enemies. There is no revenge plot at hand, and in truth, most of the time your cat's probably really not mad at you personally. They're just mad about a situation that they can't control. Something in the environment has caused anxiety, a change in the daily routine. Something is new in the home. Perhaps a new baby, new furniture, perhaps a new pet, another cat. Felines are animals of habit and routine, and for as much as they are curious and love adventure, they love consistency more. As an owner, it's all about the ability to read your cat's body language. Those subtle cues can really help you to recognize what's going on and to stop things from potentially getting out of hand. Like people, sometimes your pet just needs a moment, perhaps a couple of days, some time alone to figure things out on their own before letting you back in the mix. A response to change, a drastic change that just had to be made in the home, it can be very tough, and your cat can be very upset. But just give your pet space while continuing to cater to all of their essential needs. Once they realize that your addition, this addition to the home, doesn't equal subtraction, and this change doesn't equal their subtraction, and the positive place that they do hold in your life, everything will be just fine once again, and probably in a fairly short amount of time. If your cat is already in a very loving home, that displeasure, whatever it is, it shouldn't last for too long. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, what are your thoughts on this topic? The subtle signs that your cat could be upset with you. Any examples that you'd like to offer from your personal ownership journey? The comment section, as always, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.